Hi everyone, thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos. This particular video is enol content or analyzation under tautomerism. So this is basically based on your demand that we need something on enol content also. So I'm just preparing this video for you. So first of all, let's learn what is meaning of enol. Okay, so we'll see this way. Enol. So enols are basically when you draw keto form like this and draw tautomerized form, this is basically called enol. En is a double bond and OH is all or alcoholic group. Now the question here is which of the following will have more enol content? So how do you decide this thing? Can I say first of all it's an example of triad system of oxygen, and in other videos we have discussed about different triad system of nitrogen containing compound like nitro, isonitro, lactam, lactim, enamine, ketimide, etc, etc, right? So we can refer those videos. For example, if somebody gives us the compound like HO N double bond O, so you can write it like O coordinate N double bond OH. So these are also an example of tautomerization, okay, for nitrous acid. Similarly, we can talk about many other examples like let's say somebody gives us CH3NO2. So we can also talk about that, fine, this is CH2 double bond N plus O minus OH. That's a separate issue altogether, because currently our aim is not into discussing different triads and all, because this is covered in different video. Our main aim is to discuss only enol content in this video. So let's take example of CH3C double bond O, CH2C double bond O, CH3. And same place we take CH3C double bond O, CH2, C double bond O, OCH3. So what is the difference in these two cases? The first one is a diketo, whereas the second one is a keto ester. And which kind of keto ester is the beta keto ester? If you write beta keto ester, its beta position is having ketone and it's an ester group. So in this, the first one, if you talk about the first one, so it will become like CH2 double bond COH, we can write like this, and then this is CH2 C double bond O, CH3, and then we can expect that the possibility is like this can interact something like this with the nearby member, or we can say OH group will be forming interaction like this. So you can draw 6-membered ring or you can keep it 5-membered ring, but the interactions will stabilize this kind of diketo. And not to our surprise, this kind of diketo in diketone cases comes out almost as 76%, okay? But if you try to draw 6-membered ring for the same, the value will be less because hydrogen is not in condition to form that ring. So we say enol content for this kind of case is almost 76% for this particular case. But when you try to do the same thing for keto ester, so we get almost, let's say we are doing like this CH3, okay? So important thing could be like you can take inside double bond, that will be more feasible. So can I say rather than taking this H, if I take this H, that's more feasible. So the values will be what? The values will be almost 76%. This, let's keep CH3. In the next example, if you do the same thing, CH3 COH double bond CH, C double bond O, OCH3. So again we can talk about this interaction, but this time this interaction is almost 7%. Reason being this oxygen is in a way contradicting this conjugation which is happening from C double bond C to C double bond O. So this extended conjugation is getting some kind of cross from O lone pair. Hence keto esters have lesser enol content in the purer form as compared to the normal diketo example. I hope this point should be clear. The next important thing is when you have, let's say, any aldehyde and ketone, how will you decide which will have important which will have the higher value of content? So you can write that amount of enolic form is much greater, okay, in is as compared to like when you talk about dicarbonyl compound, it is much greater than the normal aldehyde and ketone. And if it is an aldehyde like CH3 CHO or something, it is higher than CH3CO CH3. So aldehydes have higher content as compared to the corresponding ketones also. So these are two very important things I am talking about, that this is having higher content. Again we can give the same logic, okay, the stability and the role of CH3 can be discussed. So understanding all these things, the important role comes up as enol content and different solvents, right? So if you say pure forms are given, pure liquid is given. So in pure liquid you can talk about intramolecular edge bonding or intramolecular interaction, which we call chelation. But if we give some other element outside, like some other compound outside, let's say we give some ethanol or something, so what happens? They will start interacting with the compound. and once they start interacting with the compound, the values will start differing. So what kind of solvent is more preferred, which is aprotic solvent? Like let's say somebody is giving you hexane, or they give you, let's say, benzene. Okay, then you come to polar solvent like acetone will be the next one. And when it is polar protic, let's say you talk about methanol or water, then it is becoming even lesser enol content. So enol content based on the different solvent for the same compound will follow this kind of sequence. I hope this should be very clear. And at the end, we can just revise what will be the final list of members if you try to write all the enol content. So I'll just give you a list. Enol content maximization is based on how stable is your enol, right? So when we say enol is more stable, can I say the removal of H should be more comfortable for us? So if I give you something like NO2 and a ring here, C double bond O, CH2, C double bond O, PH. Can we say this H can be taken up with very much ease because this is CH minus, C double bond OPH, C double bond O, and NO2. And NO2 is also helping us to disperse this particular charge. So the whole structure could take this kind of shape. OH, carbon is getting double bond CH, C double bond OPH, and we have here a ring system with NO2, which is stabilizing the whole content. So remember, we'll say this is the best thing. Okay, if I compare this with a normal pH structure, where pH C double bond O CH2 is given with a pH, so I can say this is the second one in the sequence. This is the second one in the sequence. Likewise, if you have, let's say, one side Me group, Me C double bond O CH2 C double bond O, okay, and then we have OMe, that will be the next one, third one, right? So in the sequence, that will be the next one. Likewise, we can talk about further examples, as in like, let's say, diketo and other members. So we have a complete list of these things, and this kind of question, if it comes, we know how to compare which H will be given faster, and accordingly we can take call. So what we learned from this whole discussion is diketones are better than ketoaldehydes are better than diols, right? So you can make a list like this. Diketones are better than ketoaldehydes, are better than diols, okay, are better than ketoester, and this is better than ketone. So this, if you know, you can solve questions very fast. One more thing to be learned here. If you have a ring which is having strain and you have a double bond O, so the enol content for such cases will be compromised. Enol content will be lesser for such cases. So I hope you understood the whole discussion, and now you can practice many more questions on enol content, and it will be very helpful. Once you talk about any question, you will be getting it with much ease. So only thing is, just talk about how the system is becoming stabilized. Please do like, comment, share about this. Thank you.